Jan Dolsky, a simple builder going through a rough patch, signed up for a space mining mission with a global corporation called Ally Corp. The goal? Find Rapidium, a substance that could speed up the growth of life. After the landing, Jan found out his whole crew had died. Luckily, he managed to make contact with Earth, and he found Rapidium. With the use of this extraordinary resource and Ally Corp's quantum computer, Jan Dolsky created alters. Versions of him who made alternate life choices. Together, they managed to move the mobile base and escape the deadly sun, which burned the surface of the planet in recurring cycles. They quarreled and bonded, learning to appreciate the similarities as well as navigate the fundamental differences between them. But as a rescue mission from Earth took off, the alters grew apprehensive about their fate. Officially, their existence was illegal. The tension mounted, and a group of rebels decided to depart from the base and build their own bunker. Jan went to great lengths to convince them to come back, promising to protect them from the corporation. And so the team reunited for a last task: prepare a safe passage for Ally Corp's rescue ship. All this time, one of the alters, the productivity-oriented, pragmatic scientist, seemed preoccupied with something else. While exploring the planet, he discovered an oasis full of life, hidden on the outskirts of the barren landscape. Just before the rescue operation, the scientist approached Jan with a peculiar request. He wanted to stay on the planet. With a heavy heart, Jan agreed to let him pursue his destiny. As the rescue ship landed, Dolsky smuggled his alters on board in a fake Rapidium ark. He decided to sedate the rescue team and hijack the corporation's vessel, steering it into an uncertain future on Earth.
how did I end up here? Wrong question. I began here. Right here on this planet. Was it hard to be born as someone else's alter? Not for me. A scientist must never deny reality, however uncomfortable. So, why did I stay behind when the others left? Because something I found here disturbed my mental clarity. The oasis. Teeming with life in the middle of a barren, uninhabitable planet. How does it survive? What undiscovered laws of nature protect it from the lethal sunrise? I sensed that solving this mystery could open up a whole new chapter in the history of science. Thus, I made it my life's work. So, if you are reading this, frankly, I don't care. One thing I've learned is that recognition is overrated. Knowledge is the ultimate pursuit. Well, now the only thing left to do is go to sleep and wait for a new cycle to begin. And with it, answers. Oh my, that was a long sleep. I don't think I've slept that hard in... Oh. Hello?
Hello?
Who are you? And what did I miss?
Nothing. You missed nothing, boy. You have just been born. Everything you remember is only in your head. But I expect it's nothing you can't handle.
Oh. Well, of course, don't worry. I have the intellectual tools to deal with it. Nevertheless, it is a surprising turn of events. I simply never thought I'd go through all this again. But, I'm not going through it again, am I? This is my first time. Yes, I am beginning to understand it now. You're the person whose memories I have in my head, and now that you're too old to go on, you created me. It's what I would do. Relax, you can trust me. I'm just like you. No need to protect me from the hard truth.
What did you just say?
Never mind. Just tell me what you found out. I'll pick up from there.
You? No. No, I don't think I can do this. But I have to. Oh, no. Time is so scarce.
Are you okay?
The quantum?
Yes, I know. The quantum computer created me. Oh, hang on. We actually have a quantum computer? Well, now you're talking.
The comms room?
Really? There's a comms room, too. Does this mean you have contact with Earth? Are you sure you don't need anything? A glass of water, perhaps?
Talk to him. But please.
Yes? What?
Be better.
You have got to be kidding me. He said, talk to him. Him. I wonder who he was talking about. It might be sensible to examine my circumstances thoroughly. Where should I start? Hello. We are talking, which means that I am dead and everything went as planned. My name is Jan, and I am an accumulated artificial model of your predecessor's mind, a so-called AAM-OIPM. But you can call me Janbot. Oh, clever. Thank you. Before we start the briefing, let's establish an adequate working relationship. I will be your source of information and virtual assistant. Your role will be to pick up your predecessor's research where it left off. Please confirm your willingness to accept this arrangement. I confirm. Excellent. Let's move on to the briefing without further ado. Your precursor, whose mind records served to train my neural system, paved the way for you with some groundbreaking research. One of the fundamental findings was that he managed to calculate the parameters of the planet's cycle. He? You do remember you're nothing more than an artificial model based on the person who made these calculations. That's very amusing coming from a copy of his DNA. Fair point. I suppose the credit goes to all of us then. Yes, he did a great job. Anyway, let's get back to the calculations, shall we? Two phases of the cycle can be distinguished. A cold phase, when humans can be active on the planet, and a hot phase, when the surface is too hot for anything to survive. The hot phase, when activity above the ground is impossible, lasts for the equivalent of 13 Earth years. 13 years of waiting? Yes. Every hot cycle needs to be spent underground. Supplies have to be secured for that time, energy to power the base. Now you understand how little time he had to devote to the oasis itself. Every time a discovery was on the horizon, the sun came and destroyed everything. And after every hot cycle, he emerged onto the surface older, weaker, body and mind deteriorating from radiation exposure. That's when he realized it was time to turn to the most risky scenario. Create a successor. And here I am. Very perceptive. Do you have any questions regarding your position? How did you build a quantum computer all on your own? The quantum computer in your base is built from parts and materials salvaged at different stages of his sojourn on this planet. They have been meticulously handpicked and modified by our ingenious mind in a decade-long process to arrive with the adequate hardware. This makeshift yet sophisticated structure could then serve as a chassis for the corporate software retrieved from the tour vehicle left behind by the Dali mission, thus creating an operational quantum computer. Ally Corp's software. Interesting. I'm pleased you found my answer satisfactory. would you like to conclude the briefing, or do you have any more questions? Remind me how things work on this planet? As you might remember from your quantum simulated memories, this planet is not easy to explore. Unpredictable topography, nighttime radiation, hostile anomalies, all of which require specialist equipment and energy. Those, in turn, depend upon securing resources, which are scarce and oftentimes difficult to access. Right, I know that. Then there's the sun, the deadly one. Every cycle, when the proximity between planet and star reaches a critical value, everything on the surface turns to ash. Does my answer satisfy your curiosity, or would you like to know more? I'm ready to get to work. Excellent. Let's start with protecting you from the mistakes of your predecessor. He managed to create blueprints for a cryosleep chamber for your base. Build it, and you will be able to extend your stay on this planet by a significant, if not infinite, amount of time. Wait, why didn't he build a cryosleep chamber for himself? He could have avoided aging and wouldn't have to create me whatsoever. Sometimes the right answers only come to us after a fair share of errors. At the time, it seemed to me that going to sleep for 13 years would be a waste of time and energy which could be devoted to underground research and learning. By the time he realized we might not make it, it was too late. Researching the cryosleep chamber so that it was adapted to the conditions of an underground base was, in itself, challenging and time-consuming. So when it was ready, he was so old that there was no point in hibernating such a frail and unreliable body. Did you say infinite? Yes, but please remember I can make mistakes. Huh. Right, let's just get on with it. Good. Take a look around the base, go outside, and locate the necessary resources. Once you've got your bearings, get to work on that cryosleep chamber so we can plan your next steps. I see we have a source of nutrition provided. Good. Huh. The QC looks different than I remember. Oh, strange. It seems I don't have access. So much work needs to be done. I'd be much more efficient if there were more of me. Finally, the right person in the right place. Hey, Yanbot. What can I do for you today? It's about the QC. It's blocked. Do you have access to it? Ah, I see. So you decided to do it. Alter yourself. Are you sure this is a good idea? I'd like to hear your opinion. Altering could cause unwanted complications. You have memories of what happened during the Dolly mission. Tension between conflicting characters in the group. Emotions getting in the way of rational decision-making. Accidents, injuries, including self-inflicted ones. Episodes of paranoia. Incidents of base demolition. All this could cause more damage than good. Unforgettable memories indeed, even if they're not exactly mine. Yes, which makes me think that revisiting all those facts... Why? One element in the equation has changed. The core awareness person in charge. Yes, this could be your chance. Wait, you're trying to say I can do it differently? Correct. Adopt a discrepant approach. I am analyzing incongruencies as we speak. Jan the Builder wasn't a skilled professional in anything. You, Jan the Scientist, on the other hand, possess extensive knowledge in many fields. Does that inspire any paths of reasoning for you? Of course. I just need to create more of myself. Good idea, but it might be impossible. The quantum computer will not allow you to do that. Remember, it is based on Ally Corp software, and they followed a strict, no exact replica policy. So, what now? You will need to reprogram the QC to set up a new branching procedure. The downside is that it will be time-consuming. The upside, that you can adjust the procedure to your individual needs. Creating branching points as close to the original me as possible. No petty differences of character, complete mutual understanding, harmonious cooperation, and a lack of any emotional nonsense whatsoever. It looks like we might have a potential direction. Do you think you're more ready to make an informed decision about altering than before? What about the Rapidium-induced illness? I have memories of having to find a cure to keep us alive. If I create my alters, won't they be affected too? Am I not affected? A very rational inquiry. You must know that your predecessor prepared meticulously for your creation. That's why it took me, him, so much time. One of the core elements of this undertaking was preventing the illness. Based on his experience from the Dolly mission, he have devised a chemical compound which could be injected into your body right at the moment of initiating the DNA replication process. The mechanism has been incorporated into the womb module so that the compound is distributed automatically. In other words, your longevity, as well as the longevity of any potential alter you might create, is estimated as comparable to that of a human being born on Earth. Does that clear your doubts? Yes, I'll take it from here. I must say this has been a very satisfactory conversation, judging by the amount of energy I have consumed. Unbelievable. The fundamental module in the base is malfunctioning. Different than I remember. Geyser. How interesting. I wonder what happened to it. To my memories. Whatever this means, I should prioritize securing fundamental resources. predecessor's whiteboard. I should take a look at it. Right. Let's see what the old man managed to find out. The theory of continuity, our original concept about the Oasis being reborn. But he wrote that it's wrong. The Oasis is not reborn, but never gets destroyed. Hey, Yonbot. Ah, you again. How may I help? I took a look around, and I have some questions. Ask away. Why does the planet look different than I remember? Did you move the bunker, or is my mind playing tricks on me?
Insightful observation. Don't worry, your senses are not deceiving you. The bunker is exactly where it was. However, everything else isn't. Shortly after the rescue ship departed, the planet underwent a significant cataclysm.
You mean an earthquake?
More like a gravitational rearrangement of tectonic plates, to be precise. It most certainly had something to do with the destruction of the Prism Barrier by your predecessor's team.
Huh. How interesting. I discovered my precursor's whiteboard. The theory of continuity, why did he abandon it?
The theory of continuity was abandoned because it was wrong. As you might remember from your duplicated memories, the core assumption was that the Oasis dies with every cycle, and is then reborn in a more advanced state of evolution. As it turned out, this assumption was made without any empirical data, and it was false. How extremely sloppy of me, him.
Yes, enough crying over spilt milk. Just tell me what you found out eventually.
The Oasis isn't reborn with every cycle. It doesn't need to be, because it never gets destroyed.
What? But the sun...
The sun doesn't burn it. Something is protecting it.
Wait, are you telling me a part of the planet is capable of resisting the immense thermal radiation of the rising sun? How is that scientifically possible?
It's mind-blowing, but apparently it has to be. And that is the mystery you have been created to solve. Your life's purpose, if you will.
So, through all these years, did no vessel arrive from Earth again?
No, and no one has made contact.
Don't you find it strange? After finding out there's so much rupidium here, you'd expect the corporation to send another mining mission.
Who knows what's going on back there? What the long-term repercussions of bringing rupidium to Earth were.
It seems my predecessor didn't get very far with his research. How do you recommend I go about the next steps?
Asking me for a recommendation is a good idea. Here's what I suggest. Clap your hands, turn around 3 times, and touch your ear with your elbow.
Excuse me?
My apologies. I should have warned you about my condition.
Your condition?
Yes. You must know that I have been trained on samples from various stages of my prototype's life. Sometimes my algorithms make accidental use of linguistic patterns from the absurdist phase.
The absurdist phase.
It's a long story. Would you like to hear it?
Tell me.
At some point in life on this planet, he experimented with cognitive enhancers, improving focus and mental capacity.
Nootropics. Really?
They turned out to have some unforeseen side effects.
Let me guess. Talking nonsense?
Pure nonsense. It was a thought-provoking experiment. However, I don't recommend recreating it.
I think I've heard enough.
Good. Back to the main topic then. Your further steps. Now that you know the theory of continuity is wrong, you will need a new direction for the research. The first task would be to formulate a solid hypothesis. Next, you should collect any significant data that could help validate, falsify the hypothesis, and perform adequate statistical tests.
Oh, that's very vague advice. Care to be a little more specific than that?
Of course. Here is a more explicit way to formulate my recommendation about your next steps. You need to investigate the surroundings and come up with a fresh idea. The whiteboard will help you collect your thoughts and findings. Your predecessor found it a very useful tool. Now that you know where he left off, you can clear it and kick off your own process.
Fine. If that's all you have for me, back to the whiteboard then. The best way to do something properly is to rebuild it from the foundation.
Hello there. Yes, you are seeing correctly. And you're connecting the dots right now. No. What? You're not who I think you are. This is not what I think it is. I'm afraid it is. But no. I remember staying on the planet, going to sleep in the bunker. Those memories are fake. That ring a bell? Of course I know that.
What do you take me for? I'm your alter. I can see that. The reason I find it hard to accept is that it just doesn't make any sense. I'm the one who made a real career. I'm globally recognized. People actually stopped on the street to take a photo with me, queued for my autograph. Surely this is a mistake. The QC made a mistake. Did it? Let's see. Why don't we start with a simple question? Apart from being a celebrity, what is your field of study? Optics. But I was always more of an astrophysicist at heart. Oh, good. Then we have something in common. Finally, everything is interconnected. But whoever you think you are, you're not out nerding me. Because I am the most versatile and savvy version of myself that could ever exist. And I just need a good engineer. That's going to have to be enough for you. I'm sure if you read the project documentation with that ingenious mind of yours, you'll grasp the essentials of your role here. Oh, I'll read it. But be prepared to have your preconceptions challenged. nothing more for me to do here. Want me to switch my attention to this? I'm here. Hello there. Easy now, no need to rush it. Okay, what do we got here? Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, surprising, but hey, also exciting. Tell me there's more of us. Have we maybe evolved somehow, like the Oasis does? Do we have X-ray vision? New toys? A Rapidium-fueled buggy? No, wait. I know. Jetpacks. Please, tell me we have jetpacks. Are you all right? You're making me think the distributor might have given you the wrong meds. The meds? True. Yeah. I was wondering why I felt so lethargic. This is you being lethargic? Don't worry, I'll be back to normal in no time. Man, I can't wait to get my hands on your mission logs. Actually, I prefer to call it project documentation. Just to make sure, what is your field of study? I'm a geologist. Why was the mineral always happy? Because it found its niche. Get it? I think I have the perfect niche for you. Really? What? Hard work, whatever it entails. I don't know. Experimenting is more my thing. Right. You know what? Let's give you time to adapt and come back to this conversation later. The sooner the better. So, have you read the project documentation? I thought you'd never ask. Well, here's the good news. In terms of content, it's not complete nonsense. But as far as the style is concerned, the turn of phrase, wording, narrative, likeness, it's embarrassingly inapproachable. I hate to say it, but you'd never get this junk published. Well, that's good to hear, because it's a serious project, not pop science. Besides, you don't genuinely think we can count on an audience in the near future? Short-sighted, limited, unimaginative thinking. Science is not just facts and figures. It's worthless if it doesn't resonate with the general public. It is our duty to open up to that universal need to understand the world in synergy, the inconceivable, hand in hand with common knowledge. Believe me when I tell you, narrow specialization is a trap. You can't understand everything about everything.
I can, and so could you if you wanted to. Did you know our brain absorbs over 1 megabyte of information per second? And that a vast amount of that data results in instant decisions made by our body. Think about it. Our subconsciousness deciding for us.
I am familiar with fast thinking, thank you.
But do you understand what it really means? Our brain listens to those subtle impulses of the body. Heart rate, sweating, instant memories, and associations gathered in the course of experience. In other words, intuition. You can't ignore it, just as you can't ignore the human factor in science. Are you a scientist or a storyteller? Huh. Is there a difference, I ask? Look around you. Science is everywhere. Let me show you something. Imagine this is us here. And this is science. All we need to do is bend our perception of it, and bingo. Impressive, right?
What is? Ending up in the same place we were?
No, realizing that something that seems so far away from our field of study can be so close, so relevant.
You know what I think is relevant? That you're gonna have to talk less and do more here.
I know what I'm doing. Contrary to most of us around here, I've decided to make it my mission to make sure our work is as accessible and interdisciplinary as possible. You'll thank me later.
Neato here. Should I switch to this? Enough samples. I should head back and take a closer look at them.
running out of storage space.
So, have you read the project documentation? Oh, yeah, I started to, but then I got distracted. It's really long and, well, hey, don't be offended, a little boring. And don't you be offended, but are you an idiot? Risky theory unless we both are. Know what I mean, boss? Aren't you even a little bit curious about what distracted me? Do I have to know? Like the elevators. We could turn them into drop towers to simulate zero-gravity conditions. What for? What do you mean, what for? Because it'll be sick. Why else? How visionary. Did you by any chance take the time to estimate the cost of this project? Because my rough calculation points to around 50 years of making nothing more than elevators? How the hell did you end up so puffed up? Puffed up? Me? You have got to be kidding me. I'm your benchmark personality. I should be asking you how you ended up treating science as a diversion. Oh, simple. Now, I never stopped enjoying it. Looks like you did, benchmark personality, huh? My dissertation was a banger. Then came the money. Travel opportunities, cool, fun people to work with. I don't blame you for envying me. Are you telling me you never faced any complications in your scientific career? Maybe that's your problem. Things just went too smoothly for you. Yeah, you think I'm spoiled. Did you consider that maybe things went smoothly for me because of who I am? Really? And who are you? The enfant terrible of science. And you know what? I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. Because from the looks of it, well, I'm the only spontaneous person around here. Sometimes I regret our parents didn't call us Lee. I could be known as Spontaneously. Get it? You'll find out what real problems are in here. Be prepared to learn a lot. Oh, so scary. Wake me up when the real fun starts. What a lovely day.
I'd like to draw your attention to something.
I never understood the point of speaking about the same thing for years. Ideas get refined when you share them with others. That's why conferences are so exciting. If wasting time's your thing.
You look hurt. What happened? I got too much radiation exposure. Hurts like hell. Why don't you get some rest? You've been working your ass off. I won't say no to that. Thanks. Just make sure we have the radiation barrier on, okay? We need radiation filters to heal.
You wanted to talk? Did you know that before becoming a globally acclaimed science communicator, I dabbled in robotics somewhat? Of course, that's why I created you. Well, in that case, surely you must be impatient to put those unparalleled skills of mine to the best possible use. Just get to the point, please. Le point. Naturellement. Let me ask you a question. When it comes to the efficiency of human-operated technology, which should be the deciding element? Human competence or machine performance? A competent human operator is essential to make the best decisions. But what if the human is tired, sick, distracted? Here, let me show you something. Imagine this is an adequately designed, properly maintained mining outpost. And this is the competent professional responsible for operating it. Now, what do you think this means? The competent professional falls under the outpost, causing a very unfortunate accident. I don't think you've been paying attention. Focus. It means that the advantages of the two can be combined, creating a new, unique quality. As in a profound relationship where 1 and 1 do not simply equal 2. The same applies to robotics. The perfect machine is the one that can absorb the attributes of its human operator without the need for any intervention. It's almost like mind reading, but without the necessity for the mind to be present. What exactly are you suggesting? A next-generation smart mining outpost equipped with an autonomous decision-making system independent of the individual operator's skills. You mean speeding up mining even if it's assigned to someone who's never seen a drill outside of a blueprint? What are you trying to imply? I like it. What do you need to make it happen? I'm glad you asked. Because there is actually one little piece missing from this puzzle. The smart autonomous decision-making system I designed in the days of my humble robotic career was part of an ambitious commercial project. And it so happened that all the documentation was kept by my assistant. You mean you don't remember it? Of course I don't remember it. It was a big company and my role was to conceive ideas, incubate solutions. My assistant was there to nurture them and, well, make sure that the numbers add up. To put it bluntly, she took care of the less intellectually demanding mundane elements of running an R&D lab.
true sidekick. Don't we all wish we had someone like that at hand? Yes, well, it didn't last long, I'm afraid. Kathy had, well, issues with my leading role in our department. She was simply jealous of my ideas. And now we will have to talk to her. You mean a quantum projection of her? Even if, by some miracle, she did exist somewhere on Earth, the Kathy you knew, the one that kept the documentation of your ideas, she's not real. Of course, I meant that. Remember, we don't need her in physical form, just a quantum simulation of what a person like her would have in their head, being part of my life path. The QC has my mind records, and it's already created a model like Yanbot. What could be easier than recreating a model of Kathy's mind for us? Okay, I suppose it could work. Let's try it and see where it takes us. Fantastic. Just let me get that tiny piece of information from Kathy, and I promise to turn our mining infrastructure to gold.
I'd like to draw your attention to something.
You wanted to discuss something? Yes, I have got an idea. Well, plenty of ideas, but there is one thing I would love to bounce off you immediately. That's what I'm here for. Let's hear it. Okay, listen to this. We know that the surface of the planet undergoes dozens of unique processes that must influence its geological structure. One of them is the formation of the oasis, a thing you're looking into yourself. Truly fascinating. But I'm curious about something else. Anomalies. Go on. Well, we don't really know much about them. We've established how each of them can affect us and how we can neutralize them. What about the planet, huh? Surely anomalies must affect the geological matter they interact with.
That's a sensible assumption. I don't need much. A small workplace, one evening, and a piece of rock harvested from a specific non-neutralized static anomaly. I marked them on the map for you. Wait, what do you mean by non-neutralized? I need the sample to be as pure as possible. Uncontaminated by the illuminator's radiation or whatever residue a destroyed anomaly leaves behind. So you want me to run into it and waste an anomaly shield? If that's what you prefer. Or you could just take the radiation surge. It's not that strong. Come on. It's just one evening. We can always abandon the project. I do it all the time. I have to admit, you've sparked my curiosity. Let's give it a try. Awesome. Hey, you'll see. We are going to uncover something spectacular.
To the Safer Evacuation Functionality Manual. Locating organic matter.
I'm on a roll today.